GCSE Poetry, Love and Relationships, Eden Rock, and Poems to compare it to. Just before we start, a quick thank you to the physics and maths tutor for allowing me access to their annotated poem. For more, the link is in the description to their website. They are waiting for me, somewhere beyond Eden Rock. My father, 25, in the same suit of genuine Irish tweed. His terrier Jack still 2 years old and trembling at his feet. My mother, 23, in a sprigged dress drawn at the waist, ribbon in her straw hat, has spread the stiff white cloth over the grass. Her hair, the colour of wheat, takes on the light. She pours tea from a thermos, the milk straight from an old HP sauce bottle, a screw of paper from a cork. Slowly sets out the same 3 plates, the tin cups painted blue. The sky whitens as if lit by 3 suns. My mother shades her eyes and looks away. My way, over the drifted stream. My father spins a stone along the water, leisurely. They beckon to me from the other bank. I hear them call. See where the stream path is? Crossing is not as hard as you may think. I had not thought that it would be like this. So, this is a poem about parental relationships. So, this is a son who seems like a heaven sort of supernatural environment where he's seeing his parents at a very young age of 25 and 23. And it shows his idolization of them in their prime years, not in their old and unable years. Also, there is a supernatural sense in takes on the light, and the idea that the light coming through her hair creates a very angelic image, which you could also relate to religious connotations. 3 suns in the next one can be taken as a representative of the triangle. First of all, the mother, father, and the speaker, but also symbolic of purity, and in Christianity, the Holy Trinity. Over the drifted stream. Now, drifted stream implies the memory is so hazy for the speaker. He ends this one with leisurely, which doesn't imply a time pressure on CAUSLEY to enter the afterlife. If we take the metaphorical meaning of the poem, CAUSLEY's parents attempt to convince him to join the afterlife. They beckon. Now, beckon relates to temptation and persuasion, referencing and reuniting family, and it's a positive embrace. Crossing is not as hard as you might think. Now, crossing into the afterlife is reference to a journey, and crossing between time periods or a generational divide, or simply different locations. Charles could be questioning the process of death. And finally, the last line of this, I had not thought that it would be like this. It's separate from the rest of the poem, and it symbolises the separation he experiences from his parents. Let's look at poet context. So Charles CAUSLEY was born in 1917 and passed away in 2003. His father died when he was young, only 7 years old, due to complications after fighting in the First World War. Then his mother had died in 1971. Charles had worked as a coder for the Navy during World War II. He grew up in Cornwall and drew many inspirations from Cornish folk tales. Structure and form essay points. First of all, exclamatory punctuation is used. See where the stream path is, which connotes the enthusiasm, which actually juxtaposes the morose and sad tone of the poem. There's a stable structure because there's fixed quatrains and there's 10 syllables per line, which is iambic pentameter, except the last stanza, where the final line is separated. This gap could symbolise the gap between life and death, and the stream could be referring to the river Styx, which is a mythical river where individuals would cross to enter the afterlife. Half rhyme is also used in the poem, and CAUSLEY uses half rhyme such as stress and dress, which could reflect an incomplete nature of their relationship. And 4, it's in the form of an elegy or an ode, which is because it is written largely about his dead parents. And elegies and odes are in respect to dead people. Language essay points, so there's very much nostalgic imagery. And CAUSLEY's use of colloquialisms, such as HP sauce bottle, creates a sense of nostalgia. The images are used to emphasise how much the speaker cares for and remembers his parents, but it could also mean that these small details are helping to ground the poet in his memory. Familiar tone is also used, and the language within the poem creates a tone of familiarity, which lends itself to suggesting the poem. Natural language. This is used to enhance the vivid scene, such as the grass, colour of what, and drifted stream. CAUSLEY may be suggesting that death is inevitable and how there's no way to stop the natural progression of life, and that love transcends death. Finally, poems to compare it to. So, Eden Rock and Neutral Tone's similarities are that both poems use light imagery, provide religious connotations as well. In Eden Rock, the white sun has appeared children of God, which creates a similar effect to, that's actually Neutral Tones, and in Eden Rock, the sky whitens as if lit by 3 suns. In terms of differences, in Eden Rock, CAUSLEY attributes this heaven-like imagery positive connotations through the passive connotations of enjambment used in Leisurely They Beckon Me. However, Neutral Tones makes a sense of light being cold and unforgiving. Comparing Follower to Eden Rock, both poems have an undeniable admiration for their parents, and they are both written from the perspective of a male child. However, Eden Rock focuses on a speaker mulling over a specific childhood memory, whereas Follower explores the speaker's relationship during his childhood in general. For more videos on GCSE English, RS and Geography, follow and subscribe now to know for GCSE. Thank you for watching and see you soon.